Welcome everybody to RGTV. I'm Kelvin and today I will be reviewing Transformers Age of Extinction. Transformers Age of Extinction is the sequel to Transformers Dark of the Moon, and it is the fourth Transformers film in the Transformers live action series. Transformers Age of Extinction is a film that I really wanted it to do good, but unfortunately the movie is just terrible. When I say it's terrible, it is terrible. The story of Transformers Age of Extinction is this film takes place 5 years after Transformers Dark of the Moon, and basically what is going on and happening in the world is humans do not like Autobots nor Decepticons. They don't like Transformers at all, so the Transformers have disappeared, or I should say the Autobots have disappeared. And they are being hunted down by this villain named Lockdown, who is taking out the Autobots on Earth. And that's where Mark Wahlberg's character comes into the movie. Mark Wahlberg's character is an inventor in the film, and he fixes things for a living. And he comes across Optimus Prime at this place. I forgot where it was in the movie, but he comes across Optimus Prime. He takes him back to his home in Texas, which is where he lives, and he fixes Optimus Prime. And Optimus Prime is just in bad shape. He's been damaged from the battle in Chicago in Transformers Dark of the Moon. And Mark Wahlberg fixes up Optimus Prime, and from there on the story continues, and a million plot points happens, and just nothing makes sense. It's just god awful. The strongest thing about this movie and the best thing about this film is Mark Wahlberg. I kid you not, Mark Wahlberg is literally the best thing about this movie. If he was not in this film, this movie wouldn't even be any good as it is right now. And this is a terrible film, but Mark Wahlberg is really, or mostly, the reason why I enjoyed parts of the movie, because he was just fantastic in the film. I mean, it's Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg as an actor. He's a fantastic actor, and he's just good overall, and he really did give a good performance. But unfortunately, Mark Wahlberg was just not enough to make this movie a good film. CGI and special effects are actually pretty good in this movie. I love the way it looks, but there are a lot of scenes in this film where the CGI is just not good at all, and it's just terrible. And when I was in the theater watching this film in IMAX 3D, I was like, wow, that's CGI. And in this movie, I wasn't trying to be like, oh, I'm paying attention to what's special effects and what's CGI. It was just that you could tell what was special effects and what was not, and it was just really terrible. I mean, we're in 2014, and you can't even make make good special effects and CGI in a film. Like, it's just terrible, and like, I really can't believe that some scenes in this movie were just terrible from the CGI / special effects. Now, the global feel of Transformers Age of Extinction, I really did enjoy when they were traveling. I did enjoy it as to seeing the culture in the movie and how it felt globally, just the traveling and how big Earth felt and all that stuff. I really did enjoy that for the film, so that does get a plus for me. We all know that in Transformers movies, characters get Michael Bayified. I quote Chris Stuckman on that. If you don't know who Chris Stuckman is, you should check out his YouTube channel. So obviously, you know, Michael Bay always has like these fucking hot females in the Transformers film. We had Megan Fox for the first two, some model in the third one, and now in Transformers Age of Extinction, we have Nicola Peltz. If you don't know who that is, she is from, I think it's called The Last Airbender. To be honest, in my personal opinion, I felt Nicola Peltz did not, I repeat, did not give a terrible performance. Out of all the actresses, between the three, Megan Fox, the girl from Dark of the Moon, and Nicola Peltz, I felt Nicola Peltz did the best performance out of the three. So I did enjoy her in the film, even though her character was wasted. It was terrible, but her performance, I felt, is decent or good. So I praise Nicola Peltz on that, but her character in the film was just terrible. Stanley Tucci, Kelsey Grammer, the voices for some of the Autobots, Ken Watanabe and John Goodman were really good for the most part. I really enjoyed the cast in this film. The cast has some stopping power in this film. It's really good, but unfortunately the cast alone is not even enough to save the film. Like I said, as for Mark Wahlberg, he's just not enough to save the franchise. So that's all the pros I had to say for the movie, and now let's get on to the cons. For me, I think one of the biggest flaws of this movie is the movie is just too damn long. There were many times where I was in the theater watching this film where I was checking my phone to see what time it was, hoping that the movie would just end because the movie was just over-exhausting. The action is over-exhausting. The storytelling was horrible in the film. The script was crap. The idiotic humor, the freaking racism in this film, just so many things are terrible in this movie. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Transformers fans because this movie is just not good at all. The movie has cheesy dialogue, it is terrible, makes no sense. A lot of scenes in this movie do not make sense at all. And I just can't believe how bad Michael Bay did for a Transformers film. And I understand that Transformers, you're not going to get good story and all that stuff, but just because a movie has action and explosions doesn't mean the film is going to be a great movie. And I'm really saddened by this because I really wanted Transformers Age of Extinction to be the best Transformers film out of the whole saga, but unfortunately I think this movie just might be worse than Revenge of the Fallen, or is worse than Revenge of the Fallen. It's just that terrible. As I said, the movie is too long, but the action is just over-exhausting. Oh my gosh, I just cannot stand. There were people in the theater times, like they were clapping from the action scenes, but it's the same stuff we've been getting in the previous Transformers film. It's nothing new, it's nothing refreshing, it's the same thing we've been seeing, so how the hell, why would you clap for certain things like that? It's just the action was terrible. Don't get me wrong, there were some good action scenes in the movie, but overall it was just terrible. It was nothing new, nothing refreshing, same stuff we've been seeing over and over and over and over again. The Dinobots. Why were the Dinobots in this film for? I kid you not, the Dinobots came in at the end of the movie and were only shown for like 5 to 10 minutes, and literally the Dinobots were used so that Optimus Prime could just ride on them. I kid you not. They had no purpose in the film. They weren't good for anything. They were just wasted. The characters in this film are wasted. I don't even know what else to say about this movie. Like, this movie is just bad. Honestly, if I was you, save your money and see a different movie in theaters. Now, if you want to see this movie, go ahead, but just be warned that this is a Michael Bay film, and this movie is too long, is over-exhausting, it's just terrible, cheesy dialogue, idiotic humor, racism, all that stuff. It's just, oh, Michael Bay, you done messed up this time. And the sad thing is, this movie is going to make a movie regardless of how bad it is. It's just going to make money, and it's really sad. Okay, so that is my review for Transformers Age of Extinction. Comment down below, let me know what you liked about the movie. What did you dislike about the movie? Did you think the movie was good, terrible, all that good stuff? You guys already know what to do if you like the video. Subscribe if you enjoy my content. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a nice day.